Hey, good morning, world. How y'all doing out there today? I'm Marcus L. Lewis, and I come to continue my life story, my rag to riches story, and the journey of my life, and how the Lord has blessed me. And if the Lord did it for me, He can do the same thing for you. But I want to inspire you. I want to motivate you. I want to encourage you that dream big. If you're not going to dream big, I suggest unto you not to dream at all. And understand this. When you're dreaming, or when you're visualizing, when you're walking through the imagination of your mind, see yourself already having, already doing, already being the very thing that you're desiring to do or to become in this life. And oftentimes when individuals fall short in the process is that they are hung up on how to figure out how to do it. Let me encourage you. How is not your concern. How is not your problem. Your job is to trust the process. Do all that you can do. And whatever you can't do, let the good Lord favor your life and connect the dots, give you favor with the individuals that you need to have favor with, connect you with the proper resources that you need to have, but you have to do your part. You have to. It is imperative that you do your part. So we shared with you on yesterday on the addition that never happened. Sometimes, oftentimes in life, we encounter blessings in disguise. In this particular situation, which was the turning point in our life, was a blessing in disguise. Remember, I told you previously on one of the videos that we had an investment opportunity that didn't happen, that fell through. So also, by that not happening at that particular time, guess what? We never gave up. We never threw in the towel. We never said that it wasn't going to happen. Perhaps it didn't happen at that particular time, but it happened at the time that it was supposed to happen. Because why? It was still a goal of ours. It was still a dream of ours. We were still believing to invest in real estate. And so with the $100,000 that we had taken out from the refinance after paying off the automobile and doing some other things and having about $60,000 to $75,000 worth of a cash on hand to invest, that money was going to be used as down payments. Because as an investor, I don't know many lending institutions are going to give you 100% financing on investment property. And so you have to come with a certain percentage down at the closing table. And so the idea was to use the remaining monies from the $100,000 as a down payment. And this was in 2004. And again, the market, was on a tear. It was really increasing. Houses and homes were increasing in value. But the good thing about it, at that particular time, the down payment that the banks and the lending institutions were requiring wasn't that much. On one particular property, we put down 5%. One particular property, we put down 10%. In another property, we put down about 15% was the maximum of a down payment that my wife and I had to put down on an investment property. And so with the first house that we invested in 2004, there was an elderly gentleman who was want to get out of the property. I think relocate with someone else. And when the opportunity presented itself, as a matter of fact, to be blatantly honest with you, it was my sister that introduced me to the gentleman who wanted to sell the house. And so I went home to Baton Rouge. He and I connected, and we negotiated the price. generated the contract through his selling agent, and we got the loan approved after putting, I can't recall exactly the amount that I put down at that particular time, but again, it was between maybe 5 and 10%. It wasn't a whole lot. And the property was about, we paid about $70,000 for that particular property. A decent house, three bedrooms, 1.5 bath, all brick home. And so we bought that first piece of property, got it on the rental listing or on the Section 8 housing program, got a tenant in there. After we did a few minor renovations, it wasn't anything major, but just to put it up to par, and got a tenant in there. Mind you, at that particular point, we've got positive cash flow coming in. Positive cash flow coming in. And so, mind you, we had to keep in mind, my wife and I, that we had to get enough of passive income to pay back on the $100,000 from the refinance. I mean, it wasn't given to us. We had to pay the money back. And so, and not only that, you putting a second lien, you putting a lien with a second mortgage on your primary residence. And so we had to keep that in mind. And so the idea was to purchase enough rental property so the repayment of the $100,000 refinance didn't have to come out of our pockets. And so about 6 months later, 2005, somewhere there's about early 2005, 6 or 7 months later, we purchased our second house. Less than a year, we purchased our second rental property. That property was about, probably about $57,000. Because after they put the down payment down, that left only $48,000 to finance. We were well on our way. 2 rental properties in less than 6, 7 months, somewhere there's about, less than a year for sure. At this particular time, with the 2 rental properties, we had just about enough to pay back on the refinance of the $100,000. So that way, we didn't have to worry about taking monies out of our household income to pay back on the refinance. Now, for those of you who were anticipating this blueprint, how we got started, I hope you're taking good notes. I hope you listen to this video over and over again, because I'm sharing with you our blueprint. I'm sharing with you how we got started. I'm sharing with you how my wife and I, we went from rags to riches. All because there was a turning point in our life wherein we had ideas to get an addition to our primary home that didn't go through, and redirected that money, which turned our life around for the better, and start using those monies as a down payment to invest in our real estate venture. And so the third property came about 3 months after the second property. Mind you, 3 houses, real estate investment properties in less than 3 years. We got the third property. And by that time, I had met a real estate investor. He was buying rundown, condemned, a foreclosure, and even dilapidated property, renovating them, and having investors like me come along, buy the property at its renovated value. I was cool with that because I'm in Louisiana. I'm in Virginia. The properties are in Louisiana. So I didn't really have the network and the resources to buy rundown, condemned properties to renovate them and to rent them out. So I just eliminated that step in the process. I bought them at the renovated value. So the gentleman who was investing, he got his money from the flip, and I made mine when I put the tenant in there and started getting the positive cash flow. Because mind you, that was no downtime for me. The house was ready to go. At that particular time, all I had to find was a tenant. And the primary means of us finding tenants was the Section 8 Housing Authority program. Folks are always looking for houses on that particular program. And so that's how we were able to buy our first three rental properties. Which was the turning point in our lives, where we begin to build a legacy of wealth through and by simply real estate investing. Changed our life forever financially. So I hope you're encouraged by this video. I want to encourage you to like the video, to share the video. And even if you listen to the video, now maybe you don't feel encouraged, you don't feel inspired, but don't make that decision for somebody else. Give them an opportunity to listen to the video, wherein they can make their own decision where they will be encouraged or inspired or not. This is my true life rag to riches story. It worked for me. It'll work for you. So I want to encourage you again. Dream big. If you're not going to dream big, don't dream at all. God bless you. Enjoy the remaining of your day.